I'm Tom Holm with IPS. We are going to work on doing the training video for the IOEST fire system. This is it right here. This is our main panel. You just open it up on the inside, and it's very easy and self-explanatory. You have an LCD screen at the top. Let's go over each area here. We're going to start with the alarm feature at the top. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 LEDs at the top. Starting from the right corner, you have the alarm LED. The alarm LED is important when an alarm device goes off in the building, like a pole station or a smoke detector. It's going to flash red. When it's flashing, you have to hit the acknowledge button on the right side, and then it will stop flashing. That means you acknowledge the problem. You'll see it on the LCD screen exactly where to go. After it comes up on the screen, the speakers will go off with an announcement telling people to evacuate the building. You can hit signal silence and it will shut off the evacuation speakers and the strobes. I would really investigate the problem first before you even decide to do something like that, because you want to get the people out of the building if it's really a emergency situation. The second one is a supervisory signal. It will flash yellow. And again, you have to acknowledge it. Once you acknowledge it, the LED light will stay on solid. Supervisory is going to be all your duct detectors. It's also going to be any suppression devices that are tampers. Trouble signal, that's going to come in more often than any signal you have. And here, let me demonstrate one. We're going to put the speaker strobe bypasses on, which, if an alarm goes off, they will not activate. I just put in my password. The password for this panel is going to be 4 2s. 2 2 2 2. Oops. Go back. Yeah. It's wrote right there.
I thought it was. Yeah.
And then hit the enter key. The enter key is the bent arrow key in the middle on this side. You're going to see the flashing trouble signal over here on the side. It will tell you what you have done or disabled or what is in trouble at the top of the screen. You can scroll down with your buttons here. There's your down button, and you can also scroll up to view all the troubles that are on your system. To stop the flashing, you want to acknowledge it, and then the panel will stop beeping. The next one down, next LED light down is the monitors. If that flashes, that means you have a device, which is one that you have. You usually don't have that unless you have a maintenance alert come up on a smoke detector that's dirty. But in your situation, you have an EVAX panel that you can actually activate. I will show you here. By pressing the button in, holding it, and waiting until you see on the panel that the microphone is active for this. Then you can talk into the system, and you can send messages to everybody in the building right here through this microphone. Let's do an example. You can see it says microphone active. Now we can talk. Testing, 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 testing.
And everybody.
You're not going to be able to hear back here probably because
you got them on bypass.
Oh yeah, I got them on bypass. Let's take that off. Try it again. Testing, testing, testing. So that is a good point, because if you do have this on, we do have it all bypassed at you. So make sure that those are off before you want to make an announcement. And put your evacs microphone back up in the hole slot here and make sure it's shut. Our next LED light is a ground fault. Okay, that might come in. That means that one of the wires going out to your system is hitting the ground in the building. You do want to address the situation. It's not an emergency situation. But in case you have a lightning strike or something, that lightning's going to go to ground, and it's going to also hit the panel now, because the panel's grounded. So you want to address the situation, get the ground fault taken care of. I would call our number here on the front. We put a sticker on top.
Call you guys first, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, anytime you want to ever do any maintenance on your panel or put these bypasses on, first you want to come in and see that your panel is normal. You only want the green LED light on. If you see any other LED lights, the monitoring station is going to call you. And they're going to tell you that you have some troubles on your panel. They will go down a list of, if they can't get a hold of the first person, then they go down a list of like how many people that they signed up for. To put the system on test, the monitoring number is up here on the left side. It is called Acadian, and I will make sure that's written inside here.
Okay.
Acadian Central Station. The account number is right here. You have to give them the account number, and you also have to give them a password. Now, this is not the password. This is the password for the panel. You have to have your own password for the monitoring station that was set up when you originally were in the system.
Okay.
Okay? You'll probably know that.
Yeah.
I think you do, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, we already
you
have
know
the
that.
password, yeah.
So, once you get the system on test, now you can do whatever you want. So I can hit any disables I want. Except we don't want to right now, because we're gonna pull a pull station here in a second, just so you can see what's going on in the system and what the message sounds like and everything. You want to pull a pull station? This will also show you the alarm LED is going to come on flashing red. What's that?
Is that going to go off everywhere?
Yes.
We also want to show them
You not want
how to
that?
do a fire.
Well, I better tell Katie, I got kids in the building.
Okay, well, don't do it.
I mean, that's going to
Right,
call.
wait.
Let's talk about how they're going to do a fire drill. That's probably more important. You can hit the drill button.
You can hit the drill button, but a lot of companies or a lot of situations, they want to see a pull station. Because if you hit the drill button, it's not going to go to the central station. It's not going to call out to the central station. But in order to do that, if you hit the drill button, you have to hold it for 3 seconds. It's just a nice safety feature. You know, somebody accidentally hits it, they don't just set off orange strip. So keep that in mind when you want to go hit the drill button. You do have to hold it in for like 3 seconds, or it's not going to activate.
And then when you push it back, what do you do?
When you want to, the
Reset.
drill button the LED light will come on. You just hit it again, and it will go off, and you're done.
Do you put reset?
That'd be like
You
a
don't have to
fire
reset or drill.
You don't have to
type
reset.
deal for you guys.
Most of our drills
The
don't
only
call
thing
fire
that's going to come on
department
is
because
the
they come out and
speakers
walk
and
through
strobes in the building with the message.
Like if you guys want to see your kids evacuate to the flagpole or whatever it is,
So
maybe.
this will take you offline without having to call
Yes,
the company.
that'd be
Right.
the way to do it.
You want me to check with Katie to see if she's okay with doing that, or you know, just not pull it?
You probably better not pull it, because if we don't call the fire company and do all that, then they're going to show up.
The
Not
next,
unless you can disable call out.
No, but I can show you something real quick though. If you do want to pull it, there's a little toggle inside there. I can show you what got going on. Toggle right there. When you pull that thing, that thing goes up. It goes up. Now, use that. Reset it. You open that up. You push it back down. Pull that back in. Pull that back in.
Now, I would reset immediately, okay? What you want to do is activate it, make sure it activates, reset it, because if you don't reset this, it stays stuck on the panel until you reset.
That's the way the old building was, the same
Yeah.
way.
That's,
I used to pull these.
that's just a standard code that they
Reset it before I even took left.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's the way the old
So
building.
did you want to see this? The pull station, you can open it up. Every key that we have for our system goes to any of the pull stations or the test stations for the duct detectors.
Even the main fire alarm
It's-
panel.
The main fire alarm key works for all the pull stations and all the test.
But not for the EVAX. The EVAX has its own separate key.
Yes, the EVAX does have it.
We got keys being made for the Knox box and for everything else that's
Okay.
happening right now. It's in the process.
To activate it, you can just flip it up and then make sure you reset it right away because you cannot reset the panel until this is reset. And just make sure everything's flat when you put it back. Key out. I would take the keys out.
I'll probably
Yeah.
take all keys out.
I think
once we're
Nick's
done.
gonna take them all out.
Okay.
I'm going over the next set of LEDs. Top is the power LED light. That's important because you'll have a signal on the panel saying that the AC power is out if this LED light's not on.
And then does it automatically go battery backup if the power goes out?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. And then,
If this light's out, you'll see an AC power failure on it.
okay.
The next light down, LED light, is a disabled light. That will come on if you hit their bypasses. We got to put our code in. It's going to ask for a code if I hit this switch. So you put in your 2222. Enter, and now it's going to go on bypass. Now if you look at your disable light is on now. Just hit acknowledge. Because what it really does, it puts all those devices in trouble so they can't go off. So that's why you get a trouble light too.
Okay.
Okay? So you're going to see all the stuff you disabled because it's going to say disable booster panels trigger. Scroll down to the next one. It will tell you exactly how many at the top. This is a very important feature. You got time up at the top, and then it tells you A, and there's 12 devices that are in trouble right now. So we can scroll through, and it will tell you NAC 3, NAC 4,
Now, how
and it
do
will
I-
tell you all the audio circuits that are in trouble.
How do I know where these are in the building? The next.
You'd have to get the drawings probably to actually
Okay.
know. We try to get, as good as description as we possibly can, but, that's kind of hard to
A
do.
sheet telling me,
There's building plans you can look at
okay,
for each one.
all right.
There's ways to go about troubleshooting and find out the circuits.
But I know my old building.
I would call us, we will help you out.
Okay,
Okay.
because I don't want to look for all this.
So right now, we'll just take that off again, and it should go back to normal. Okay. The next one down is a test. That means you can go through, I wouldn't mess with the test. You have to actually go into programming to actually enable the test feature. So I wouldn't worry about that. As long as your system's on test, you can, if you hit this bypass, you can test any of the devices you want. So I wouldn't worry about that feature at all. It's because once you go into programming, it can be a little bit difficult. To go into programming, you can just, there's a two menu folder down at the bottom, you hit that, and it gives you a menu of anything you can go into. You can go into history on the panel, which is reports at the top. That's all you got to do is, whatever's highlighted, hit the enter key, and then you can see there's history. Okay, I'm gonna want to do history. alarm. Yes, I want to do all the history in the panel. And then it says, do you want to do on this LCD screen? Yes, hit enter. And now you can just scroll down and it will tell you everything that's happened in this panel. Like we hit all these horn stroke bypasses, it's telling you that you just did that. Now to get out of anything like this, because it's going to stay in here until you get out. If you just hit the back arrow key, you can get out of anything. And then you want to get to the main screen, which is Buckeye. If we hit the menu key again, you can scroll down. Here's a test key. That's the one I said, you don't really need to use. You can if you want. It's just a feature we don't use very much. We just usually put our system on bypass and then test them that way. Because in the test, it's kind of like a walk test thing. You got to complete every test in the building you won't possibly be able to find everything. Because you'd have to know all the prints and stuff. So, from reading the prints. Here's a feature you might want to go into. If you keep scrolling down, program, okay? Let's say the time and date's off on your panel. If you hit the arrow, it will tell you exactly what all you can do. You just keep scrolling down. Like there's time and date, clear history panel. Clear the history in the panel. So we're going to highlight time and date, hit enter, and you can change the time and date at the top, but just if you hit a number, it will scroll over to the next one and go all the way down to time and date, and then just keep scrolling down until when you're done putting your correct time and date in to save. And if you just hit save, then it will save it to the panel. If you don't hit save and you go out of it early, it will not change the time of day at all.
Now, is that set up to do daylight savings time automatic or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's go back into it. There is daylight saving time. Let's go to daylight savings time. There. It can tell you, okay, their daylight savings times says it starts on March 11th. No, I'm sorry.
Ends in November.
November 3rd. November?
No, starts in March, ends in November.
Right. You're right. It is. Starts in March, ends in November. And, it's got the building calendar, so it kind of knows when that is. So it's already in here.
Already in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let us know if you have a problem.
Oh, believe me, I will.
Anyway, we're going to hit get out of it. You can keep going down. I wouldn't mess with anything else in programming because you can erase devices and stuff like that. Yeah, I really want you to just focus on time of date, maybe clear history if you want to.
I mean, that's not a big issue to clear the history of it. I mean, it's going to jam it all up or not.
Right. And you can call us at any time, and I can walk you through anything too.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, where are we at here? Okay. Service detector. Well, that's going to be like if a detector goes dirty, it's going to come up on here, and you probably get service detector. If it gets to an 80% level where it's dirty, it will go into maintenance alert on the panel. It's just telling you it's dirty. I've seen some in maintenance alert above, even 99%. I have one now downtown at Lebec Tower that's in 99% dirty, and it still has not went into alarm. So what these smoke detectors are intelligent, and they take samples of the air for 3 days, and they adjust to their environment.
Huh. Now, do I ever have to clean these?
Yes, you can, but I would
I mean,
take a vacuum cleaner and suck out the dirt. Don't blow the dirt in.
Okay,
I would take a vacuum cleaner and suck it out.
all right.
Okay, next one down is, we went through all these LEDs. Now let's go through the buttons on the top. If you have a pull station that's been an alarm, you're gonna have to reset it, because it's not gonna reset on its own. There's the reset button at the top. If you press that, it's gonna light up. Now, when it's done, it's gonna go off. If you still have the device in alarm, that means, well, maybe you didn't reset it. Or the smoke detector's still seeing smoke. It will not reset until it's clear. It sees it as clear. Acknowledge, we went through that. If the horn, speakers, and strobes are going off, you can hit the signal silence button and it will silence them. Like I said, be very careful with that because you want to make sure that people are evacuated out of the building. Drill button, if you hold that for 3 seconds, it will activate the speakers and strobes. To disable it, hit it again, and as long as the LED lights out, they'll go off. Don't worry about the remote disconnect. That's for like if you have printers and stuff like that. You do not have that.
Okay.
This is the one feature you don't use. That is about it on that. Does anybody have any questions?
No, looks so good.
Now, do you want to go over the evacs thing one more time? You can make announcements on this. This is a speaker strobe.
Katie's already did it.
Okay.
Katie has done that.
Let me get over here. There is a feature on here. When you do, press the button. It's going to come up here, and you're not going to be able to talk until you see that the button's activated.
Okay.
There we go. Now you can talk.
Okay.
That's test. And as soon as you let up on the microphone, it will go back to normal.
Sets itself back.
Yes.
And then do I have to worry about any of these switches in here, the little toggle switches?
No, those are not active at all.
Okay, that's nothing there.
Right.
Now, if I'm sweeping these and I touch them, do they go off?
Yes, if you sweep dirt up
I mean,
into them,
if
yes,
I physically
they
touch
can go
that,
out. No, not touching it.
They
No.
won't go off?
No.
Okay.
No.
'Cause my old building, if you just touched them, they would go off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I found out because I took a duster on them, and that was a mistake.
just keep dirt
Here
away
comes the
from
fire department.
Because if you sweep dirt up, it will go off.
Okay, all right, makes sense. Yeah, this operates a lot like my old system I had
Okay.
in the old 97 wing, but, so I feel a little more comfortable with it now, but.
Right. Now, we can go over these booster panels if you want.
That's up to you.
Okay. These booster panels are all connected to all the strobes in your building. Just the strobe circuit. The speaker circuits are connected through here. All these. Okay? These little white modules. The strobe circuits, if you have on this panel where it says BPS strobe circuits are in trouble, that means that one of these BPSs are in trouble. You have an LED bank on the bottom. If any of these LEDs are lit, there's your problem. Okay? There's a nice little schematic on the side here that tells you exactly what every LED light is. The first one is NAC 1, which is up here in this top. That would be the first circuit on the panel. The second one will be the second one, NAC 2. You have 4 NAC circuits, and then NAC 3, NAC 4. The next one over is a battery, low battery, okay, which is going to be right there. Like I said, the schematics on them.
And will that tell me when the batteries are low
Yes,
on this?
yeah.
Okay.
And then the far right would be a ground fault.
That one there, yeah. That's the
Okay.
important one, really.
So, you know, if you call in a service call and you actually look in these, you can get the most information you can get us. We can come out more prepared to help you out.
Okay.
So, as you can see, there's no LED lights on. This panel is normal. They're all the same. They all look exactly the same.
Key.
No LED lights there. Now, I will give you an example of how that works. We're going to take off a battery, and it will go into trouble. And I'll show you an LED light.
Okay.
It'll take a second or two.
So it sounds like
Yeah, he's calling. I can follow up.
You got a blinking here.
Oh no, that's not.
That's
Your
not.
panel's normal, as long as this is normal.
I've seen that flash.
It'll come in a second. Here's the. There we go.
oh, okay. The little yellow light.
Now this is going to peak here and say, right there.
Alright.
It's going to say booster panels triggers to strobes. Okay. So you acknowledge, and then try to find out. Hey, well, you know, maybe somebody went in there and they messed around and they loosened this up. It fell off, like I did. Okay.
Okay.
So you can go in, put it back on.
Sounds like
And it'll take a minute or two, but it will disappear.
Now, is that something, battery changing, is that something I do? Have to call you, or how's this?
Be careful. If you change out these yourself, I've had customers that tried it. If you hook them up wrong, you'll blow this board up, and this board is expensive.
Okay.
It'd probably be better if we came out and did it
Okay.
for you.
All right.
As long as you hook it up exactly the way these are, you should be fine. But that's up your call. You know,
Yeah, I've done it before in the old building, but
Yeah.
I know this is a little
this
more.
is a 24-volt circuit coming through here. So you have to wire these in series to feed out 24 volts. So it would be negative here, the positive here, and then the positive, negative go on the panel itself. So now you can see the panel cleared off. And the last one is the same way.
I'll feel a little bit about that now.
Any other questions? Just make sure you take it off test when you're done.
Right.
We can go up to the enunciator in the lobby.
One, he built it.
I know there's one up there,
Yeah, there's one in another rescue.
so we have two in the whole building, two of these guys.
Okay, when you walk through the main entrance to the right side, you have an enunciator. This enunciator actually goes back to the master fire panel. Anything that comes up on the fire panel itself is going to go right to here too. It has a nice LCD screen. And you can see that right now, you want the power light on, and it says, right now, it says Buckeye Valley System Normal. Time and date, when you change it back there in the panel, it's going to change up here as well. Okay. There's also another enunciator in probably the back entrance, right?
Yes.
Okay. This will not operate. I do not. You could enable it permanently, but I don't want people messing around with it. Okay. There's a code to actually get into it. So if I hit any button, it's going to ask for a password. Okay. I did write the password inside the EVAX panel here to the right. It's just all threes, 4 threes. So what you want to do to get the password, it just went out of it, but we're going to do it again. Just hit acknowledge at the top. If you hit the down or the up arrow, it will start giving you numbers. So as soon as you get to the number you want, which is 3, hit enter, it'll go to the next slide. Then scroll down again or up till you get to 3 again, and then he'll hit enter. Keep going until you hit all digits. Last one, hit enter. Now you're going to get controls enabled. When this light's on, you can do anything on this. You can acknowledge a fire panel. You can silence the speaker circuits. You can do the drill button from up here. A lamp says. So you're just basically enabling these controls. It will only stay active for like a minute or 2 minutes, and it will go off. Then you got to do it over again. It's a very simple, self-explanatory type panel. There's another evacuation panel up here at the top. You can do your microphone paging from up here in this vestibule, which is kind of nice. It's the same type of situation. If you hit the button, you're going to see, wait until you see vestibule mic activated. Then you can talk. You have to wait for the signal. Test. Then make your announcement, and as soon as you let go, it will go back to normal. Give it a second or two because it's going a little farther than the other. Let me try to get it back. And that's all on that. Now, I don't know if you guys wanted to actually, probably don't have, go ahead to do alarm. Huh?
Well, I'd have to clear it with
Okay.
Katie and all that.
Have you heard the message alarm yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
yes.
When the message alarm comes on, it's just going to probably do a temporal sound first and then give a message to evacuate the building. I believe you can override the message by just going into your evacs.
I don't think we'd ever do that. but-
No.
Yeah.
As long as you acknowledge,
So I've just been,
but try not to hit signal silence until you know exactly what's going on in front. Okay. And that's about it. You have any questions?
Yeah, we've already done fire alarms. Everybody knows what these do and says. So,
Now this is pretty close to the evac, so if you get kind of a squeak, they still getting a squeal?
Yeah, so I had installed it according to plan. I can't change that. But since it's so close to the mic, it might have some frequency
Feedback.
feedback. But it's not as bad as the one in the main that we switched out. It's not that bad. But you can still hear it, but it's not screaming at you by any means. But there is a little bit of
you know to get out of here.
Yes, yes.
That's
We ended
the-
up changing the main electric from one to a strobe only because it was terrible. And we just told the fire marshal, you know what I mean? Because that maintenance room right outside where the boilers are, it's already got 2 speaker strobes at, I believe they're 100 watts. I think they're 100 watts apiece. Does that sound right? 100 watts?
Which one is it?
The 2 in the mechanical room, I think they're 100 watts. They're loud. They just echo off that block wall. So if you're in that electric room, you can't hear those 2. Then you need to make a trip to Mount Carmel and get
Don't go there.
ethanol or methanol or whatever. I'm just joking. So that's it for the fire, right?
That's it, on fire, okay.
That's all you guys got.
Well,
Want an alarm from a dust or something? There's a drawing that shows you which gate, like say this mez right here. This is up in A mez, you can't see it, but it'll tell you to come through door 8 up to the mez, and it'll be either, I think it's DOAS 1 or air handler 1. I forget, that might get those mixed up. It might be air handler 1, but they're in both of those on the return side. There's 2 up there. There's 2 in C in your office.
Okay.
They're way up high. I can show you exactly where those are at because when it comes off the return, it splits immediately, and you couldn't put just one in. It was too close to a bin, so I installed 2 duct detectors in C, which is DOAS 3, right? I think so. And then there's one in B. And as soon as you go up the steps, you're looking right at it. You can't miss it. But if you want, I can walk you through those real quick right now.
Okay. Now, is there any maintenance that has to be done on them?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Never should have to mess with them?
If they
Clean
go,
them?
if they go in alarm, evacuate.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know if there was like a maintenance thing through
No.
the summer. I need to dust them down, clean them.
No, they don't even have smoke detectors in them. They have a built-in mechanism. He'll be able to tell you more, but there's not a smoke head to twist out or off.
Okay.
They don't have smoke heads in them.
Okay.
It's a built-in mechanism.
They last for pretty long, like I said, they're the same as
The
the
last 10
smoke
years.
detectors in that one room. They take, samples of the air for 3 days and then they adjust to their environments.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they last.
Yeah, well, you show them to me when you get it.
Yeah, I'll show you.
You can see the controls disabled already, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Also, when you go to do the mic, it is gonna beep because you're doing an activation of it. You can't silence the beep, you have to be enabled first.
Okay.
If you want. You don't have to.
But you have to put in your code to activate the mic, right?
Yeah, you would have
Yeah.
to enable.
But in order to silence the
323.
beeping on the panel, when you see the activation on it, you're gonna have to have the controls enabled,
Okay.
which you have to put in the password, and then you just hit acknowledge at the top. And then it will stop beeping so you can do your announcements. If you don't want the beeping in your announcements.
I guess it depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
If you got time to do all that, or
Get out.
one or the other, so.
But the main key is when you do the activation on the microphone, you do have to see where it says vestibule activated, fire alarm panel activated. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Before you can make an announcement.
Yeah, we've done that once with kids, so, Mike.
Yeah. Katie thought it was her intercom. When we first got it installed, she heard us testing it. And she goes, "Oh my God, my intercom's here." I was like, "No, it's not your intercom."
Yeah.
Then she's like, "Well, there's some feedback on that." I was like, "Yeah. I want to use it for emergencies." I don't even know where your guys' intercom is. It's gotta be over here somewhere, right?
Sure.
Started as a West microphone.
Is West done?
Ish.
Ish.
Not ish. I think we're a little further ahead now,
It seems like it's on that.
which is good.
It comes and goes, right? West tempos a little bit.
I don't know about that. I think this one's run a little bit more smoothly than West did.
I know we gotta go over there and install their sign.
All day.
Power their sign.
Mike, am I getting a sign here?
Yes. Yes, next week. I think it's getting
Oh, is it?
installed.
Okay, good.
I'm saying on the 14th.
Where's it going?
You see caution tape out there right now?
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Right there, okay.
Yeah. You'll have a rolling screen, and then you'll have a lit up sign that comes on with, I believe, photo eye.
I'm assuming that pole's
I
coming
wouldn't get
out.
too crazy with that because you're gonna have a full day or a half day of training with this lighting guy from Canada. Be with me. Bear with me. This guy does speak a little bit of English.
Oh,
The one guy that I know, he speaks English. The other guy is French, and I requested not French. How's it going?
He's done.
You done?